Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Backstage with Fred. I am right now in Lithuania, in Vilnius, for the DevDays Europe. Great conference, happy to be here. And I am with my guest today, Horacio. How is life?
Fine, really fine. I am really happy to be here in Lithuania. It is my first time here, and the conference is really great, so everything is going well.
This is my first time too, so looking forward. I'm taking 2 days right after the conference during the weekend to, visit a little bit the privilege of traveling for work. With that said, funny enough, Horacio and I, we know each other for a couple of years because we're both developer advocates. We've been at different conferences, and I think the first time we met was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah,
It was in
something like
France.
that.
It was in France. What's the conference organized by the GD
Oui,
in France?
the Devfestland.
DevFest, which I should have remembered because, with all respect for every conferences in the world, the DevFest is in my top 3 conferences. I really love the
They
conference.
are really a wonderful crew and a wonderful conference, so yeah.
Yeah. With that said, though, we are not there. We are here at DevDays Europe. So for the people that don't have the privilege to know you like me, who are you?
Well, I am Horacio Gonzalez. As you can maybe hear if you listen this podcast, I am a Spaniard who has been living in France for over 25 years. So my accent combines the worst trait of both Spanish and French accent. Sorry about that. And I work at developer relations at CleverCloud, and European cloud provider.
That's great. So no, I love the accent. I was just laughing at like how you presented it. Love that. So we were thinking about like, yeah, maybe we should do the Backstage with Fred episode in French, but it was like, yeah, that would like all the other episodes are in English, so let's continue to do that in English. So first question I have for you, DevDays Europe. How is the conference? What's the conference? Like, what's happening here?
Well, it is a big conference. It was the first thing I saw. 1 day for workshops and 3 days for the talks. And it is in a cinema, in a big cinema, like, for example, DevOps in Belgium. There are some conferences like that that are lucky enough to be done in a setup like that. You can see we are at nice cinema places. There are a lot of people coming from all around Europe. I thought it was going to have mainly people from the Baltic states, and not. I have seen people from anywhere in Europe, people who are very interested in discussing about technology, very different topics, because in fact, it is not a single conference. It is 3 conferences in one: DevDays Europe, DevOps Pro Europe, and Cyber, I don't know what, Europe. So about development, about DevOps, and about security. And there are a lot of speakers, lot of topics, 5 different tracks at the same time, something
There's
like that.
multiple tracks.
And especially lots and lots of nice discussions. So for the moment, I am really, really happy to be here.
Yeah, no, that's a great experience. So that was my first time also at that conference, but I heard a lot of great things about it, and I hope validated them by being here. Great conference. As you said, also, no stress. It's part of Backstage with Fred. It's an imperfect setup. People coughing, people passing by, people talking or uploading while we do the recording, so it's fine. So yeah, anyway, great conference here. As you said, so it's kind of like 3 conferences in one, so there is like topic for everyone. In my part, I was mostly doing the dev days because, developer relation and the developers. With that said, though, yesterday we were both on a panel on the DevOps side of things. So I was emceeing or hosting or leading. I don't know how you call that, like, but the person that lead the panel. But it doesn't matter. But like I was hosting that panel where we talked about, the human side of DevOps. Because DevOps it's not my world right now, but it used to be in my past life
Same
at a
here.
company.
It isn't my work right now, but I work for a cloud provider. I have been working for cloud providers for years. I have been doing DevOps before that. So yeah, DevOps is a topic I really love. And the idea of talking about the human side of DevOps, especially this year when everybody's talking about artificial intelligence, seemed really wonderful. So when Fred asked it, I say, hey, yeah, I want to be there.
Yeah, no, and that was a great panel. I know the talks are recorded, so I assume the panels are recorded too. So that's going to be available on YouTube.
And we even got a present.
Yeah, please show that. That's really amazing, really amazing. So one of the attendee draw the speakers on the panel. This is great. This is the first time that happened to me. So I had people who did like sketch notes when I was speaking. So basically, they're drawing things related to your topic, but never had someone who draw us. And the drawing is amazing. It was done by Halfie. I forgot his last name. So
the
he's also one of the
guy.
speakers. And really great.
He's a guy.
That's amazing. I'm gonna bring this back home. He gave it to me. I'm gonna frame it not because there's my face on it. It's just so freaking nice that people took the time to do that. So amazing. So we get a great gift from one of the attendees. There's also one of the speaker about our panel. But you're a busy person too at that conference. I mean, you've done the panel with me. You gave a talk, but you also gave a workshop.
Yeah.
And your workshop and talk were about basically the same topic around MCP. So give us like, for people that may be new-ish to AI. I know everybody is like doing a little bit of AI right now. You don't really have the choice as a developer, but like you may not have all the knowledge. So kind of like two questions in one for you. What is MCP when it comes to we talk about this in AI, but also can you give us a little bit of like too long didn't read about either your workshop or your talk? Like what did you talk about?
Okay, let's try. So you remember several years ago, Gen AI was only a chat. You asked things, it gave you answers, but it has no knowledge of the current real world. For example, you asked it, what's the weather like in Madrid right now? They said, hey, I am a language model, I only have knowledge of my training set. And 2 years ago, we began to have tools that the model could ask to get some knowledge of the real world, to crawl a web page, to get information. And the models began to be able to act in real world. Right now, the standard de facto to make models to be able to call APIs and to act on real world is MCP. It's like an REST API standard, but for the Gen AI models. So it is the magic that allows your Cloud Code, your Codex, your OpenAI to be able to do things like recover information, that doing a Git clone, that doing all the agentic revolution we are living. And why I was doing this talk? Well, because today writing an MCP server is really simple. If you are a Java developer, for example, using Spring or Quarkus, you add a library, you add an annotation, and yeah, your REST API, it is an MCP. But that isn't always a good idea, because Gen AI models are very different. So I did this talk because I lost a database 1 year ago.
Oh.
I was learning MCP, I did a nice database with monsters, Pokemon-like, and I put an MCP. I had found the official PostgreSQL MCP at the time made by Anthropic themselves. I began to use it, it was really funny, and then, well, the model didn't find the answers I wanted on my dataset, so maybe, only maybe, I was a bit angry. And maybe, only maybe, I say, hey, it is sample, you should be able to do it. And what happened?
I did.
What happened? It thought, and it told me, well, I have found that my problems are that your model is suboptimal. And then, and I don't kid you, it was exactly like that, without asking anything, without nothing, so I decided to modify it. I have done an alter table of your database, and here is your new model. So all my data was lost, all my data model was lost, but I have an empty database with a new data model, and I didn't understand how it was possible. So I looked at the code, and the official PG MCP was only one function, /query, with only one parameter, the SQL query. So yeah, If the model wanted to do a drop table,
It will do
it
it.
could do it. And in my case, it did a global alter table. So, to be short, everybody can code an MCP server in a few minutes, but there are lots and lots of good practices. And for me, the resume of my workshop and my talk is, you as developer, I am sure you have been developing APIs for a long time. You do front end, back end, whatever, you know the good principles of an API. Well, please, when you do MCP servers, don't forget them. Don't do like all those people that begin to do MCP like if it was something completely new and nobody knew how to do it. You have been doing APIs for years. Please keep that in mind when you develop your MCP. That was the resume of my workshop and my talk.
No, but that's great because a couple of things. So MCP, as a developer, you've probably seen it because you probably have to use AI more and more, either to build your software, or even if you're not a developer and you're watching this, you work in marketing, and like you use this to prepare meetings with customers, and to be able to do that, you need to have access to your own data or private data. So you've seen a lot of applications like Notion. I think a couple of months ago launched their own MCP server. So now you can like connect your LLM to Notion, so you get access to your own Notion workspace, so you can get that information there. But as you said, you need to have some responsibility on the MCP server side, so the people building the MCP connection between like whatever or wherever you want to take the data or get the data or insert the data through wherever you connect to it. But I catch the end of a talk of, and I do not know the name of the person, so I will try to find his name and put it there. Here, but basically he works in security, and I don't know if his old talk was an AI. I just entered the room because my talk was right after, so I had to be there. So I didn't know what was the talk, but one of the things he said we shouldn't blame AI. We should blame the people using AI.
That.
And it makes sense, and it's, from my point of view, it's common sense, but I never thought about it because we were quick to blame the technology, but it's how people use the technology. So and I don't want to pick on you, but I will still do it because I know you for a long time, and I think you can take it. But was it really the fault of the MCP, like the MCP server that it had that did that? We can argue that yes, because it was not really well developed. They didn't put like security. They put how do you call that? Like guardrails around it. But you're also the one who use it and give it access to your old database.
Of course.
So
And that was the first lesson. Now I read everything before using, but I also think that today most developers are going to build MCP for your internal application in your company, for your CRM, for many things. Internal MCP are a trend right now. So many developers are going to begin to write them. And yeah, if there is a problem, okay, people using them will get some blame, but most companies are going to blame their developer. So for me, if you are a developer, yeah, before using an MCP you have found, please read it. But if you have to develop one, well, think a bit about the design of your MCP. Don't simply add a new annotation to an old API, because there are a whole new class of attacks. Do you remember SQL injection? Yeah, but learn about prompt injection or tool poisoning or many new kind of silly attacks. For example, I have seen people attacking models using text in Klingon because the filter, they don't understand Klingon characters, but the model, I don't know why, it has been trained in Klingon, it automatically translates Klingon, and you have your prompt injection. There are crazy things, really funny, but really dangerous. So simply, before coding, look a bit around, learn a bit, and be sure you are as serious about security as you were when you were doing your API.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I was not saying like there's no responsibility on the engineer side that are building those tools. It's just that like the responsibility needs to be on both sides,
Yeah,
not just on the AI
I
side.
fully agree.
So basically, great. Again, take that in consideration if you're building in CP. And on that note, thanks for your time, Horacio. That was a pleasure to have
Thank you for the invitation. I was really happy to be here with you. It was a fun moment, and thank you very, very much.
Awesome. And folks, see you at the next episode of Backstage with Fred at the next event.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.